questions here. I record the call, so if there's something interesting for you that you would like to listen to again afterwards, you're more than welcome. There's not a lot of slides. The slides is actually just bullet points for me. So it's more helpful. Maybe you make the one or other note. I may want to make it very, very personalized tonight. So who do we have tonight on the call before I introduce myself? We have people on the call who are brand new to the subject, and they really want to optimize their performance. They want to feel better. They want to live their best life. They want to have more energy. And then we have people on the call who are already advanced, let me put it that way, and they know already a lot about our program. But the danger also when you know everything about the program is basically that you sometimes get a little bit too relaxed with everything and not really be focused anymore. Hey, Mariette, good evening, everybody. I can see you now too. Wonderful. And so we need to be very, very careful that we always pay attention to our optimal performance. So this is not just about the diet. This is really about the lifestyle which should fit into every lifestyle you have. And this is why I promoted it already. And when you find value in what I share with you tonight, and you say, hey, there's my friend Mary and Peter and Tom, and you would like that these people also get this information, and maybe you talk with me like I do it today online, then you're more than welcome to contact me. We can make it individual, just for a couple of people you have maybe around your dinner table, or maybe friends you know somewhere, and we connect them all on a Zoom. That's not a problem at all, because I really, really have a passion, not just that people look better and feel better. I really have a passion that people have their best life, whatever is possible, because there's so much potential in our body, there's so much potential in our feeling, and we just really need to put our mind to it, that we really get the most out of it. I just ask everybody to mute yourself quickly, that we don't have. Hi, Sarjan, good to see you. I see you're coming in, everybody's coming in, that's beautiful. Just looking that we have, hi Liesel, see you too. Fabulous. So optimize your performance is the talk for tonight and the session for tonight. And you're, as I said earlier on, when you came late now, you're really welcome to ask a couple of questions. What is maybe specific to your personal situation, because this is about you. And as I shared just now, if you have friends where you think that could be value for them, this is what they should hear, then we can make it very, very special for them as well. I do that for companies. We have a couple of teachers next Saturday sitting around the table where I do the talk. So there's lots and lots of opportunity to help more people to feel their best. And why am I doing that? So my name is Bea Stripe, for those who don't know me. And I got started more than 29 years ago. So I celebrate actually my 29th anniversary this August. And when I got started, actually, I was often tired. I ate chocolate in the evening. During the day, I was good, but in the evening, I had cravings for chocolate. I was very, very tired. I trained too hard, never got into shape. And with this program, with the Herbalife program, it helped me actually not just to get into shape, more important to stay in shape, but also not neglecting life. I think this is something very, very important, where we also always should look at life. We have a life, we have a lifestyle. And most of the people actually, they try to live healthy for a certain time because maybe their immune system was low and they had the flu, and now they consider to live a little bit healthier, or they decide they make a diet to lose a little bit of weight, and then they are very focused. But they always have, basically, with everything they do, an expiry date in their mind. Yeah. And I don't want to have that expiry date, because I suggest let's have a healthy life and a fit life and an awesome life, our whole life, without an expiry date, you know? And this is important, actually, when you think now of what we're talking tonight. Understand this is about life. This is not about a diet or something specific. This is really to fix your life, your lifestyle, without neglecting the things you love to do, without neglecting that you have here and there a little cheat. Because when we are honest, I think most of you here on the call, you might like to have here and there maybe a piece of cake because you're invited to a birthday, or you might want to have maybe a glass of champagne because you like it? Yeah. So now where's the balance basically that we get still our results and feel on top of our game? And this is where I want to share with you basically what is important for our body. So let me ask you a few questions, and I actually would like you to write down the answers. And doesn't matter how experienced you are already, just write down the answers as honest as possible right now. Just make an audio check. Everybody can hear me loud and clear? Okay, fantastic. So what do you usually have for breakfast? And let me make the question different. What did you have last Sunday for breakfast? Because sometimes during the week we are good, but on a weekend we start to cheat, okay? Then do you feel hungry or tired around 11 o'clock? Do you feel tired during the day? And when especially? Do you suffer from any headaches during the day? You just need to write the answers basically. Do you have any digestive issues? That's bloated, constipated, running tummy on a regular basis? How long have you had extra weight if you have any? If you're underweight, just write it down for yourself. So that's a little questionnaire for yourself where I want to give you direction tonight. And the last little bits, when you say, hey, that's really for me, then we basically look at what is really specific for you, what we need to fix. So what are your specific health and wellness goals? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to have more energy? Do you want to gain weight? What are you craving for? Do you have specific cravings? And just be completely honest. Yeah. Maybe you had yesterday and the day before a little cheat because you just couldn't resist. That's a craving. Write it down. Maybe you're coffee addicted. Maybe you're chocolate addicted. Write it down because there's ways to fix it. Yeah. And something we don't acknowledge, we never can fix. So we want to fix that. Would you like, we can stop there, yeah? So this is a normal questionnaire, which goes also out to brand new customers. Would you like to know more about our health and wellness programs? This is why we are here tonight. And would you like to have more information about becoming a coach, earning an extra income, or starting a new career? This is basically when you think, hey, that's actually great what Bea is doing there. I would like to learn to do something like that. I would like to help other people to be healthier. I teach you what I do, and so you can basically develop there also a little part-time career or full-time career. But now we come actually to the nitty-gritty. And now just take note, write down or write your questions in the chat, whatever comes to your mind. So now the next part. So I have basically 20 points I want to discuss with you right now. So I need your attention because there is not much more slides coming about these topics, but these topics are actually big key. So the first and the most important is, why is protein important? So you hear a lot of different diets. Some people say high protein, other people say no protein, other people say not too much animal protein. So there's a lot of confusion. What is high, what is low, what is the right amount? And for me, everything is about the right amount of protein. Protein is very important for your hair, for your brain, for your skin, for your bones, for your muscle. I mean, I think your muscle is also your heart. Then it's also very important. But also when we feed our body not with enough protein, the body cannot burn enough body fat. So and this happened to me when I was younger. I was training very hard, but I didn't have enough protein, and therefore I didn't lose the body fat. And I didn't get the shape I wanted to have. And this is why it's a lot about having the right amount of protein. If you train hard, like Pepe here on the call, and maybe she shares later on her story quickly with us, if you train hard like Pepe, she needs to adjust her protein intake. Yeah. If you're on a weight loss journey, you need to adjust your protein intake. If you have a lot of cravings, you need to adjust your protein intake. If you have a lot of stress in your life, I have Carrie here on the call, so welcome Carrie, she's the very first time with me here on the call. So when you study and you train, and she just had recently the flu, the body needs more good nutrition, the body needs more protein to balance everything out basically. So how much protein does somebody need? And there's basically where we latest learned that men and women are different. Yeah, we know that, but it's a fact that a woman needs round about 80 to 120 grams of protein, and a man needs round about 120 to 150 to 180 grams of protein. Why do I say round about? It depends. It depends on your size, on your weight, and obviously also on your goals and how hard you train, or if you train at all, if you do sports at all. So this is something where I can help you individually. Just make contact with me or make contact with your coach if you got invited from a coach tonight, and we look at your protein need. The first thing where I felt actually, and this was amazing for me, when I got started on Herbalife, I lost my cravings for coffee and I lost my cravings for chocolate. And it goes back to having the right amount of protein all of a sudden. And this is for everybody who knows already about the products. You want to also look that you have your 2 scoops of shake and 2 scoops of the protein drink mix in your shake to have a minimum of 25 grams protein in your shake. So the myth about protein, that's quite funny. Yeah. I want to go back quickly. So how much protein do you need? Because I know some of you might think, 120 grams of protein, that's easy. I mean, I eat easily a steak of 200 grams. Stop. 200 grams of steak means not equal 200 grams of protein. An egg, for example, has only 5 grams of protein. A cup of yogurt is only 5 grams of protein. And a steak, the size of the palm of my hand, or a chicken breast or a fish, that size, is approximately 25 to 30 grams of protein. So to add up basically the protein, we need to take a calculator or take your coach by the hand. This is what makes it much, much easier to get the protein structured throughout the day. Because it also helps you, not some of you might have gone to a steakhouse and they have the big fat Tuesday. And with that big fat Tuesday, what they have a big steak, maybe 400 grams, and they put an egg on top and some bacon on top and some cheese on top, which is maybe 50, 60, 80 grams of protein, might be. But your body absorbs per meal a maximum of round about 35 to 40 grams of protein. So it doesn't help us when we overdose the protein with one meal. The best is actually to structure it in 5 small meals throughout the days. Yeah. And obviously we need to watch also the calorie intake. Yeah. So if you eat a lot of protein and just look out for protein, and you eat here the nuts and there the steak and there the yogurt and there the cream cheese and whatever, you end up maybe with too many calories and you don't lose weight and you don't lose the body fat, what we want to lose. So that's a little bit about the protein story. The myths about protein I also want to share with you. You find some people, and even some doctors, they say, you should not go high protein. And you must know there was a study a long time back where they actually put a couple of nurses in that study on animal protein, on animal products with protein, meaning yogurt, cottage cheese, they got steak and stuff like that. So they got everything what comes with animal protein. And what I figured out is obviously that triggers high blood pressure, high cholesterol, that can trigger also high cholesterol, I said already. Yeah, and therefore the release of the study was too much protein is bad. What they didn't say is the study was, or highlighted was, the study was about animal protein. So I still agree, we can't have animal protein from morning till night That's too much for our body because animal protein comes with animal fat, and that can cause too much acidity in your body, can also cause gout and rheumatism and arthritis and stuff like that. So we need to be balanced. I'm not a vegan, I'm not a vegetarian. I must admit, if there's a vegan or vegetarian here, no problem at all. I personally like actually to have here and there a piece of animal protein, a piece of cheese maybe, or a piece of steak. But definitely what I have balanced is that I look that I get most of my protein plant-based. And this is where we are so blessed actually with our Herbalife product, that everything is plant-based protein, and therefore we can't overdose. So the myth around the protein is basically we can't have too much animal protein. We don't need to be a vegan or vegetarian, but we should look that we get the most of our protein intake from plant protein. And there, the highest quality you can find comparable with the protein what we have in meat, for example, in the plant world, is then the soya protein, which is equal in value from the protein. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to interrupt me, or you're more than welcome also to send you a message or a question in the chat. How much water do you need? So if you want to live a healthy lifestyle, you can't live without water. And now some people ask me, Bea, is beer also counting for the water? Is coffee also counting for the water? Is Coke counting for the water? Because they think just in liquid. Water is water, yeah? So I personally learned it from a homeopath, and she said to me, Bea, when you think of water, think of what would you take to clean your windows? And I said, water. She said, bingo, yeah? She said to me, maybe you put a cleaning product in the water when you clean your windows. That's for us, for example, the aloe, for example, yeah, which can then still count towards the water. But we need the water actually to cleanse our body. It's important for the kidneys. Can you believe it? How crazy is this world? Some people get kidney stones, and the reason why they get the kidney stones is they don't drink enough water for a very long time. I don't know, but we don't want to go through such a stress just because we don't drink enough water. And a secret. Are you ready for a secret? Some of you know the secret already. If you want to lose body fat, if you want to build muscle, and you take the right amount of protein, but you don't have enough water, your results show slow. And we all know we want to have fast results. We want to have quick results. So watch always for the right intake of water. Yeah, make it fun to drink the water. I have always my water bottles with me. You need to be prepared. I like to, when I know I'm the whole day out and about tomorrow, then I prepare my water bottles already in the evening before. I put in some of the water bottles the aloe concentrate. In some of the bottle, I put maybe the immune booster or our collagen, just to make it fun to drink the water. But it's important that you have the right amount of water prepared for the day, because this is how it works for me. Then I really drink the water when the bottles are prepared. If I think, I stop at the garage quickly and buy a water, do you think I buy it? No. You know, we are so busy in our day then that we forget completely. So it's all going back also to preparing. So how much water do you need? So there's a simple formula: per 25 kilo of body weight, 1 liter of water. Some people might say 30 kilo of body weight, 1 liter of water. I leave that up to you. But I believe a little bit more is better than less. I personally weigh around about 60 kilo, and I drink easily 3 to 4 liter per day. Yeah, and it's just because I get used to it. I make exercise, and it just feels better. Yeah, I have more focus, more concentration. Oh, by the way, if you have a lot of headaches, you might lose the headaches because you drink the right amount of water and you have the right amount of protein, just like that. Yeah. So it's basically when you don't eat well and you don't drink enough water, your body shows you headaches, bing, 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 do something for me. But your body doesn't say, give me a headache pill. Your body actually would like to just have the right stuff, the protein and the water, if that makes sense. The myths about the water I want to share also quickly. Some people say, and you should not drink enough because you flush too much, you flush too many nutrients out of the body. Have you heard of that? Yeah, Natalie is nodding. So it's clearly when, let's say now, you know, these big bottles, 2-liter bottles, yeah, when you basically put that 2-liter bottle now and just drink it down in one go, that's too much. That's too much for your organs. Yeah. So in an easy case, you maybe just run quickly to the toilet, and your body does not get any value from that water because it's too much for your system, and your body just sends you immediately to the bathroom. So a lot in one go doesn't help you. Yeah. If you drink a lot in one go, it can even cause some pressure for your heart, which is then really not healthy. So it doesn't help you that you say, I drink later, I drink later, I drink later. The ideal case is basically, let's say now you calculate you need 4-liter water for the day. Then I personally suggest start in the morning with a glass of water. Ideally put the aloe in it. Maybe you want to put the bioaccess in it, which is brilliant for your colon as well, just to get really the colon going. And this first glass of water in the morning is essential because it kickstarts your body. It kickstarts the whole system because your body is dehydrated from the night. And if you want to have help, then maybe use a timer on your phone, use a water app on your phone, which reminds you to drink every hour 1 glass of water. And you will see from the time you get up every hour 1 glass of water, you will realize all of a sudden that you drink very quickly a lot of water and you get used to it. And you see everything what we say right now, I can't do that. Maybe some of you say at the moment right now, I can do that, yeah. But it's actually, we just need to develop that habit. I can do it, yeah. We need to develop that attitude. I can do it because it's good for my body. I want to do it, yeah. And if you come from drinking no water, but you should have 3 liters of water, maybe start with 8 glasses a day so that you get 2 liters in your body. And then you increase it the week later with 1 glass more, and the week later with 1 glass more, but not going backwards, going forward really, because the water is important to get the toxins out of your body. The water is also important to transport all the nutrients to your organs. Yeah. If you don't have enough water, there's no transportation system. This is like the taxi strike we have recently, then everything is, yeah, not going. We can't have that. So we want to get the water story sorted. Cool with that? Did I get a thumbs up? Are you still with me?
We are here, Bea. Thank you.
Thank you, Pepe. On this note, I need a sip of water. So how is your digestion? So is your digestion bloated? Are you often bloated? Are you constipated? Do you have a running tummy? This is often a sign that you need to look at your fiber intake and at your water intake. We have from Herbalife a brilliant product, which most of the people who want to lose body fat also use additional, which is the multi-fiber, which is a dream for me, yeah, just to mix the multi-fiber with some water, with some aloe, and you can drink it warm or cold, which is so relieving for the digestive system, yeah. So this is very important. Bloatedness, consistent bloatedness is really a sign that there's something going on in your system, in your colon, and you want to get basically the cleaning going with fiber, and then obviously also the inflammation, because being often bloated or constipated or a running tummy can also cause inflammation in your gut. And we have our gut specialist or gut brain specialist, Mariette, just here on the call. I hope I say it right. But if your gut is not okay, your brain can't function 100%. So it's important that we always look at our digestion as well as we look also at our urine, for example. And the urine color, you have heard maybe already, the urine color is also showing if you drink enough water. Yeah, if you sorry when I talk so open, but I think we are just us that we can talk very, very open. If your urine color is how can I say, yellow and is smelling, yeah, then you don't drink enough water. Then you really want to increase the water. If you're, let me talk very open about the stool as well. If your stool is hard and little pebbles, yeah, then it's not good. Yeah, then you want to sort it really out with, and not with medication, then really with the right amount of fiber, with the right amount of water. So really let your coach know, the person who invited you tonight is your coach or knows the next coach, or just contact me to get that in order. You want to have a proper stool and you want to have a proper urine. And I'm just looking now because I see Sasha here on the call who has kids. Please also look for the kids. How is their digestion? How is their urine? Because this is where you basically can help big time already, also to support the immune system, because the biggest part of our immune system is in our gut. Yeah. And if the gut is well, then everything goes easier. If you want to lose weight, gain muscle, everything goes through the gut. Focus more, concentration, brain, stress release, all of that stuff, basically. Does that make sense? Fantastic. Okay, I'm not sure, Sasha, do you want to ask a question in between, or? Because I saw just your picture popping up. Okay, but beautiful to see you here. Okay. So then we come to the subject cravings, one of my favorite subjects, because cravings, I thought in my early days, is something I have to live with, and I never get it right. And I was always cross with people. My mom, for example, I must tell you, she can be very strict with herself. She decides she doesn't eat that, then she doesn't eat that. She doesn't really think about cravings. Now, I'm the type person, and I think I come after my dad. When we have a craving, then it goes in our head the whole time: ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, or chocolate, 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 or cake, cake, cake. And then I must have it. And then I can't stop it. Did you ever have that situation? Are you more the type like my mother, or are you more like me? To share honestly with me. Some on my side? Natalie, you're on my side? Yay, I'm not alone. That's good to know. So, but what I learned over the years is actually, how can I fight the cravings before they come? And this basically is when we have the right amount of protein throughout the day, you can forget about cravings. You can look at chocolate, doesn't really interest you, or you just take a small piece. Yeah. You see the cake, I think, okay, give me a spoonful, but it's okay. You just wanted to have the taste. So this is me today. Yeah. I'm still that I might like to have the taste, but I don't want to finish it. And I don't feel for more. And that's for me complete control. So I don't need to be hard on myself. I just don't feel for it. And this is where we need to look at the right amount of protein. And if you train very, very hard, like Sasha, for example, she trains very hard because she makes marathons and stuff like that. And Pepe also trains very hard, but she is more in the gym, but crazy workouts, I can tell you. Yeah, then it might even that you need to adjust a little bit also the carbohydrate intake. Yeah, but the good carbohydrate intake. So this is where we need to find the balance. And this is what we can do then more in a personal session, just to optimize it. When you say, hey, I have the whole time cravings, I need to get hands on that. Yeah. So cravings don't come because you have stress. Cravings are not because you're Natalie or because you're Bea. Cravings is something where your body talks to you and say, hey, I need more good nutrition. I need more protein. I need more from X, Y, Z, get that sorted, then I don't send you cravings anymore. It's actually, it's scientifically proven that your gut sends the signal to your brain for simple sugar if you don't have enough of what the body needs. Isn't that crazy? How our body actually functions when we know what to do, then we don't have actually these problems. Hope that makes sense. So loose skin, something very, very interesting. As we get older, we hate actually that we get a little bit more the sagging skin, maybe also loose skin when we lose the weight, maybe loose skin on the legs and stuff like that. And we will address it with our next 10-day challenge, what we have starting now at the end of August, even more. But just know, as we get older, two things we need to understand. Our body loses collagen. Collagen is underneath the skin and basically upholds our skin. But as we get older, that collagen gets less and less. This is why you find on the market a lot of collagen drops and drinks and powders and stuff like that. And a lot of the stuff is just expensive, doesn't bring you any value. And some of you know already that Herbalife has done a lot of studies, has a brilliant collagen powder, which is absolutely delicious. So this is why we have that. But also as we get older, just know to work against the loose skin, you need to have the right amount of protein. Because as we get older, we need more protein. This is why you see elderly people all of a sudden shrinking and getting, have less muscle tone. It's related because they eat less protein. When you think of, just look when you have a mother or a dad, or when you look at your Oma, Opa, if you still have some, really, then it's a blessing if you have them still. But then look at what they eat. They often eat a rusk dunked into a coffee, then they have maybe a juice, then they have a tea, but they have a soup. They don't want to chew too much anymore. This is why they don't eat the meat so much, yeah. And this is basically where they develop such a decline of body shape and muscle, and which also is affecting then the heart. So this is where you really want to do it differently for yourself. And if you have an influence to your parents or to your grandparents, please do so, that they get also enough protein, not just to prevent loose skin, more important, to prevent the decline of the muscle mass, which is also affecting the heart. And by the way, again, to build in quickly kids, yeah, kids also need the right amount of protein, because they develop now their immune system, they develop now their muscle system, they develop their bone system. So you want to make sure also that they get enough protein. Stress, one of my favorite subjects. So I hope it's not boring for you. Do you get some value out of it? Just a quickly check up. Some value? Okay, good. Okay, so stress, anybody of you has stress? Gives me an opportunity to have a sip. So none of you knows really about stress. It's a word which you write with S-T-R-E-I-S-S. And only the people from Mars have stress. Nobody here on this earth has stress, okay? So I don't need to explain you where the stress comes from. So sometimes we have physical stress. Physical stress is, for example, when you go for a run, when you do exercise, when you do workout, but that's positive stress, yeah? And we need that kind of stress as well. But sometimes we also have the negative stress, when the boss is fighting with you at your work, or hopefully you're not fighting with your partner or husband or wife. When the kids are not doing what you expect to do. So we have lots of situations where we create our stress, or we have stress. Sometimes we create our own stress because we are late. Now we are late at work, and that makes that multiplication effect, actually, that we are stressed by ourselves because we just slept in the morning a little bit longer, and now nothing works out on that day. So this is maybe something where you want to look at your habits and your attitude, if you can basically get up really these 10 minutes earlier, and look also at your sleeping pattern, that you get at the right time to bed, have everything prepared for the next day, that you don't have stress in the morning, which then actually builds up the stress for the whole day. That's one part. The other part, there's sometimes stress you can't prevent. This is just what it is, and you have to work with it now. Yeah. Let's say a family situation, let's say somebody in the family is sick, and you just worry about that person, and it worries on you. You can't say now it's not there. You need to deal with it. So it's on our nerves the whole time. It's on our mind the whole time. And still we have to do our work, and we have to sort out the kids and our partner and all of that. And that causes stress in your body. Now you need to understand, in this situation, I like to compare it always like the car. When we drive the car faster, it needs more petrol. Now, my question to you is, what do people do when they are stressed? What do you think? Do they eat more, or do they forget to eat? What do you think? Just write it quickly in the chat if you can. What are your thoughts?
They eat more beer.
Hi, Amina. Nice to see you. Exactly. They're stress eaters. Yeah. There are people, they just eat all of a sudden everything, and we know that they eat stuff what they shouldn't eat. Or some people really can't eat. It's basically, yeah, like somebody holds up them on the neck and they can't eat anything. So we have both situations, and both is not good, because we learned earlier on we need the right amount of protein, we need the right amount. And this is something where you need really to be focused. Now, that's very difficult. When you're stressed, you need basically be your own consultant and say, hey, I'm talking now to myself, yeah, I would say, hey, Bea, now get your act together and have another shake. Yeah. And the shake is therefore ideal because somebody who is not really having an appetite, the shake you can just sip throughout the day just to get the good nutrition in. Somebody who has an appetite all the time or eats now like crazy, they need balanced protein, that they don't have the cravings for all that what is not good for them. Because when you overeat with sugar, when you overeat with chips and fattening stuff, you actually build up more stress in your system, and you make it like a vicious cycle. Yeah. And what I'm always scared, and I say that really honestly from my heart right now, what I'm always scared is when people are in stress situation and they finally or very quickly go to the doctor and say, doctor, I'm so stressed, this and that, and it happens in my family right now. What should I do? And unfortunately, some of the doctors don't ask, what do you eat? What do you drink? How is your sleeping routine? How is your exercise routine? They just put you on an antidepressant. And the antidepressant solves, in this case, nothing. So I'm not talking against the doctors. In some cases, you might need the antidepressant, but be very careful that you always, when you have a stressful situation, that you look together with your coach, ideally, be always honest to your coach. This is why we are personal coaches, that you say, hey, I'm having this situation right now, or I'm writing exams and I have this family situation. What can I do, because I'm like stress eating now, and then you can start to fix it. It's so important. Does that make sense? Yeah. So we need to look that we get the balance right. Low immune system, definitely a sign that you don't get balanced nutrition, and that you maybe have on top of that a lot of stress. Now, the funny part is always, not always, but often, you have stressful time, stressful time, stressful time, stressful time. And in this stressful time, you just function like this. You go through that like boom, 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 no problem. And all of a sudden, when times are a little bit more quiet, maybe you go on holiday, maybe it's Christmas, all of a sudden you're in bed with the flu, and you have the worst flu you ever had. Why does that happen? Your body is just building up, and then all of a sudden it crashes because the body can't go any further. This is, you need to learn, as I said earlier on, when you have a stressful time, you need to feed your body the right stuff during the stressful times. So don't wait till your immune system collapses. You don't get the flu because it's winter. Sorry. You don't get the flu because your neighbor has the flu. You get the flu because your immune system is low. And your immune system is low because you have missed a couple of links in your nutrition, in your sleep pattern, and in your stress management. And maybe you overate with sugar or too fat food because it's winter. Some people tell me, you know, Bea, it's winter. I need my comfort food. But the comfort food is not good for your body because it makes your body not comfortable in the long run. Does that make sense? Okay. Oh, I think you hate me after this talk tonight. So anyhow, I go further. Tummy issues, same story. So if somebody has always an upset tummy, yeah, some people, because of stress, they have often an upset tummy, a running tummy, for example, or again, bloated or stuff like that. Please let your coach know if you have that. We need to fix that. We need to address that. It has to do with inflammation. It has maybe to do with the things you're eating. And so it can be so easily fixed. I mean, our aloe concentrate is, for me, gold when it comes to stuff like that. It's absolutely amazing. And also our herbal beverage, by the way, our magic tea, like I like to call it always, it has cardamom in it, which is a spice, which is very, very good also for the tummy lining. Yeah. So be aware, we are connected. So there's the body, and there's the mind, and there's the habits what we create. So we need to be in rotation basically to fix everything. So it's not just I have tummy issues, I take a tablet, or I can't eat something today, or I have the flu, I need the medication, but I'm not eating well. That's not how it works. We need to address it completely different. And again, I'm not medicating here. I'm not against doctors. I'm telling you, or talking about prevention. Yeah. Focus, concentration, so important. So focus and concentration has to do with what? What we put in our mouth, how we move our body, how often you are outside in the fresh air, even when it's cold, even when it's a little bit raining. 5 or 10 minutes fresh air is just key sometimes to get a little bit more focus and concentration again. And it's also the attitude we have. Yeah. So a lot goes also back to attitude. When you say, I can't do this, I can't do that, then actually you need to cancel out the word can't. And you must say, I don't want to. If that makes sense. I don't want to go there further. I hope you understand what I mean by that. So focus and concentration is what we put into our mouth. If you have a lack with focus and concentration, again, we go back, right amount of protein, right amount of water, right amount of nutrients. How is your sleep? All of that to fix basically your focus and concentration. Sleep issues, yeah. I was sitting last night with a young couple together. I know them since a very long time. And he told me, because of a lot of stress, he runs his own company since 2 years. He developed the employees he has from 4 to 14 within these 4 years, 2 years. So it's a lot of stress and demand on him, also financially. And he says, yeah, if I sleep maybe 1 hour a night, it's a lot. And I could see dark ring under the eyes and all of that stuff. And I said, what do you do before you go to bed? He said, I watch TV and then I go to bed. I said, stop watching TV, go for a walk with your wife. So, so you need to see when you're tired in the evening, but you can't sleep, To watch TV doesn't help you because there's too much then in your mind going on. Checking your phone before you go to bed doesn't make sense. This is too much stuff going on then on your mind. It's really good to switch off all the devices half an hour, even better an hour before you go to bed. Ideally, go for a little walk or do some meditation, for example. Yeah, there's guided meditation if you can't switch off for yourself. There's guided meditation. If you don't have an idea about that, please make contact with me. And then what helps a lot of people, we have the shake, to have the shake before you go to bed, or the protein drink mix, because again, the protein helps you to develop that natural sleeping hormone, and the natural sleeping hormone is called melatonin. So you don't need to have maybe a sleeping pill. Maybe it helps you just by having a shake, maybe half an hour before bedtime, and then go to bed. By the way, when it's winter, it's cold, maybe if you feel for a hot chocolate, make this shake, our chocolate shake, as a hot chocolate. It tastes delicious. You don't get any fat or bad sugar, but you have the right nutrition for your body, and maybe that helps you also with the sleeping. And then a big response I get always also to our product Nightworks, which really is brilliant to transport more oxygen in your blood, and therefore a lot of people sleep so much better. So why most of the diets don't work? As a number 15, and we are almost done, as you can see. So most of the diets don't work because they are not balanced. Most of the diets are on a concept to starve your body. And when you starve your body, you might lose very quickly weight on the scale. But when you lose very quickly weight on the scale, it is often muscle. I mean, most of the diets obviously have an expiry date. You can't do that forever. And then you feel like normal eating again. Your body is not used to burn the same amount of calories anymore. And then you gain faster, more fat. And this is why you see then funny shapes happening all of a sudden, where we get more and more the tummy, more and more round around the hips. Yeah, men get that apple shape, and ladies often get that all around, basically. This is a sign of too many diets, basically. So you don't want to skip meals. Go back to what I said in the beginnings, 5 meals a day. We don't starve ourselves. And this is one of the major reasons all these diets don't work. I even don't discuss diets with people. Yeah, when they ask me, does this diet work? Does that diet work? Every diet works. What do you want? You want to drop a couple of kilos, but you want to gain more fat afterwards than before? Then try it. Yeah, I'm there when you're ready for doing a lifestyle where you gain muscle and lose the body fat, be toned, look amazing, feel amazing. Then we are talking. Does that make sense? So going out, meal planning is a funny stuff. Yeah. So when people go out, they think they can't live healthy. It should be actually the other way around. So when you go out, what's happening when you go out? People know I'm going out. So they decide then from maybe breakfast till evening to dinner, they don't eat. Because in the evening, they go for dinner and they feel already like, I want to eat dessert and I want to eat this and I want to eat that. So they create actually big time cravings already for the evening by not eating or skipping meals or skipping snacks. On a day when you go out, stick with the meal plan as we always decided for you, because then you have the right amount of protein. And my magic formula for myself is, let's say now I go for dinner at 7 o'clock, at 5 o'clock latest, I have a shake. Even when I had my snacks before and everything else, I have a 5 o'clock shake, because that keeps me sane and this keeps me full until we go for dinner at 7 o'clock, until we order the food. And the food, you know, takes 30 minutes or even longer till it is on the table. Yeah. Because if not, you're starving yourself and you're getting so hungry, you just eat too fast and you eat anything. And you drink also more alcohol in that case. Make sense so far? I'm just checking if there is a question or just somebody telling me if I'm boring. Yeah, exactly, Pepe. Yeah, see, this was related to earlier to the stress situation. Exactly. Okay, fantastic. So meal planning is important. Yeah. And I know almost everybody here on the call right now that you tell me, Bea, I don't have time to plan my meals. And this is why I fall in love actually so much with our shakes, to be honest, because this is when I make my shakes for the next day, I often like them to make them in the evening. Then I make 2 shakes and they are already in the fridge for the next morning. So maybe you want to have 2 shaker bottles that they are just there ready to grab on the go, and there you go. When you know you have a lot of stress, and I'm looking at Natalie right now because she often works long hours, only comes home at 7 o'clock. And I just take Natalie now as a role model for all of us. Now, Natalie gets up very early and drives all the way from Malmesbury to, do you mind, Natalie, when I take you as an example? Okay. So Natalie gets up very early. She drives all the way from Malmesbury to Blueberg. There's her work. And then she works usually. Sometimes she even doesn't have time to have a lunch break. I don't know if that happens to some of you too. And then in the evening, she drives back all the way to Malmesbury, picks up her husband who has his hair salon in on the way and drives then all the way to Malmesbury. And so for her, the day maybe or dinner is then, because she wants to eat with her husband dinner maybe at 7 or 8 o'clock. Am I right there, Natalie? So the problem is when Natalie only takes what we say for somebody who wants to lose weight, 2 shakes, 2 snacks, it's too little for Natalie because the day is much longer. So for Natalie, it's out of question that she has a 5 o'clock shake to keep her blood sugar balanced, to keep the energy going, and to keep basically also the fat burning process going. Yeah. And then she comes home, 7, 8 o'clock, dinner is ready. And then you sit down and you eat much more relaxed and you don't overeat. Again, all the time when you go and you're hungry, yeah, then you eat too fast, and the signal from your gut to the brain that you're full comes too late. Does that make sense? Yeah. When it comes to meal planning, know that we have on Telegram a recipe group. And there we share recipes, normal cooking recipes. Yeah, they are not all related to Herbalife products. There are some normal meals, vegan meals, vegetarian meals, meat meals, fish meals, whatever you think of. But most of the meals, I can tell you, because I have tried them, you can make bulk. And I like to cook bulk. Then I put 1 portion or 2 portions in the deep freezer for another day. And this is for tonight or for tomorrow. So if you basically have a very stressful day all the time or a stressful week, then it helps you maybe when you cook bulk, but that means not that you have to eat the whole week the same food. Yeah. So if you basically cook bulk and half goes in the deep freezer and half you eat now, then you have for another day. And so you can build up basically for future days and weeks and have always like a rotating system always. And you don't need to have all the time fresh cooked, because sometimes we don't have maybe time to cook fresh, but then you can help yourself in that way. We will share more recipes also in the 10-day marathon if that helps. Okay. What time should you eat? Very important, as I said, when you start in the morning, first glass of water in the morning when you get up, ideally with the aloe in it, ideally with the bioaccess in it, and then within the first hour in the morning, you should have your shake, that you get the good nourishment basically for your system, the good nourishment for your muscle, the good nourishment that your blood sugar is balanced. Yeah. And from there, you can actually start to count every 2 to 3 hours, you should have your protein. So when you have your breakfast shake, 2 to 3 hours later, you have your protein snack. 2 to 3 hours later, so you don't wait till you're hungry. You check your time, yeah. And for me, it's always, because I'm very good now with timing for myself, but I know 10 o'clock, I need my protein, yeah. And this is something, again, you can prepare. I mean, we have the most awesome protein bars. You just make the protein bars dup in your handbag, or maybe you have a full box like myself. I always have a full box in the car, so I don't need to carry them around. So I have a box at home and I have a box in my car. And if you have a desk maybe at work, put a box also there. Then you're always sorted. Or the protein drink mix is also brilliant. But have your protein snack mid-morning, mid-afternoon. And then if you want to lose weight, you have 2 meals basically with the shake. Ideally, maybe breakfast and supper. But some people like to have supper with the family. Then you might have it breakfast and lunch, or you can just swap it around. That's also okay. So that's to the times to eat. Often people say, yeah, but Bea, I should not eat too late at night. That's correct. But if your lifestyle, if your family, if your work doesn't allow it differently, then we can't change it. But maybe in the evening, you don't want to eat too many potatoes, rice, pasta, red meat, which is then really lingering for a very long time in your gut and makes you not sleeping well. Maybe you want to be then on the lighter side with chicken breast, maybe not a fattening sauce. Maybe if you want to make a sauce, then use our savory shake to make a nice sauce with it. Maybe have some nice veggies, colorful veggies, or cauliflower or spinach with it. Maybe, yeah, just a little bit more on the lighter side. And this is where we also have a lot of shake recipes. Exercise, just on a quick note, when I got started, because I was so sick and tired of exercise, I said, if this doesn't work without exercise, I don't do it. And a friend of mine who offered me Herbalife said, just do it without exercise, it will work for you too. I dropped 2 pen sizes. I got so much more energy. I felt so amazing that I just felt for exercise. And here I am, that I really love to do exercise. I'm not an exercise bunny like Pepe, for example, who maybe shares in a minute her story a little bit with us. And maybe Natalie, also you want to share a little bit your story with us. But exercise is basically something you will feel at one stage so good that you want to do some exercise, and then you find out what suits you best. For Natalie, it's walking. For Pepe, it's in the gym. For Sarshan, it's running a marathon. So you need to go also then a little bit with your feeling, what makes you feeling the best. And the attitude, I think this is basically, you could make a circle around everything we discussed right now and can write in that circle around attitude. Because this is actually to put everything in place to go step by step through these 20 points I was talking with you right now. It just needs the attitude. If you say now to the one or other point, that's difficult, that's complicated, I don't know, yeah, welcome to the club. I got started 29 years ago and I was like, oh my word, oh, that's a challenge for me, yeah. But this is why we have in these days the 10-day challenges, because every 10 days we focus on another habit to create these healthier habits. Not to take you away your lifestyle, not to take you away what you like to do, but to create that healthy lifestyle that your body gets at the same time what your body needs to have a healthy and a happy life. So that's me. I hope I could add some value tonight. And just in closing, I just would like to share 1, 2, 3 stories with you from people I see here on the call right now. Sarshan, maybe I can ask you, as a mom of 2 very busy kids, as a business mom, and you were now a couple of times on my 10-day marathon. What did the 10-day challenge mean for you? What value did you get out of it? Because you're not somebody who is massive overweight, who need to lose a lot of weight. what motivated you to join the challenge and what inspired you to stay actually with the challenge? If you just have an opportunity to share that quickly with us. I think you must unmute yourself. If possible, Sargent, if the kids don't sleep, if you can talk.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you loud and clear, Sargent. Good evening.
Okay, sorry, I'm having a big problem with video and everything on the call tonight. Yeah, I just, from my point of view, it has really been about, as you just said now, very much about a lifestyle, and very much about getting more energy from the different products. Like before, I remember thinking, how am I ever going to have a shake for breakfast? Now I absolutely love my shake. It's like my favorite part of my day. And I'm on the go a lot with 3 kids and often rushing off to school. And it's just the best thing to know that I can throw my shake in. And sometimes I either do it the night before or quickly in the morning, and it takes me no time. So it's just really helped me to get into much better habits. I find much less cravings, and then also it's about balancing. I still like my glass of wine, but then getting into better habits about trying to drink a bit more water with it, or trying to up the protein intake in between. So it's definitely helped my running. I've definitely felt a lot stronger with my running. And each time I do the challenges, I try and bring on another habit. At the moment, it's definitely focusing on more drinking of water. But yeah, really enjoying it. So thanks, Bea, for that.
Fantastic session. Thank you so much. Thank you. Pepe, do you want to share?
Hi, everyone.
Awesome. Hi, Pepe.
Thank you, Pia, for reminding us of the basics. So, my name is Pepela P. Mhlanga. I am 41 years old. So when I started with the product, it was just for me to get a bit of energy, because I used to be tired all the time. I used to fall asleep in front of the computer at work. That can get you fired. So I really needed something for energy. And when I started, within 3 days, I felt the difference in my energy levels, which actually helped me to focus at work. And that's just got me really excited for a change. And that's why I decided to commit to a healthy lifestyle, which I've been doing now for 6 years. And I went from being a couch potato, now I exercise 5 to 6 times a week. And I have energy. I don't know where it comes from, but I know it comes from good nutrition. So you change your habits, everything changes around you, even your mindset and everything else. So I'm really grateful to these amazing products. Thank you,
Awesome.
Pia.
Awesome. Fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing, Pepe. And I like your hair. You have a different hairstyle.
Thank you.
Awesome. And you, Natalie, sharing?
Okay, yeah, so I've started a year ago. I couldn't go for walks. I could hardly even climb stairs. So luckily for Herbalife came my way for Neil, that had a meeting with my husband. And then I got involved. But anyhow, so long story short, now I enjoy going for walks at least, and I'm not tired as I used to be, and I'm not, like, my back used to hurt extremely a lot when I went for walks. Now it doesn't anymore. Yeah, and I actually enjoy going for a walk, especially I try to go now before work. I'll go for a walk just along the sea, because my husband wants to be at work early. I only start a little bit later these days. I don't go in as early as I used to. So I first go for a walk and then I go to work, and that helps me a lot. Also, just to get my head clear for the day. So
Fabulous.
Yes, and I absolutely love the products, all of it.
How many
Yeah,
kilos in
that's my-
total, Natalie?
Just 42, just over 42 now.
Wow, 42 kilos, absolutely amazing. What I like, Natalie, is really that you step by step also optimized your habits, also when it comes to stress management. Like you say, now you go for a walk, has not just to do because you want to lose weight, so it's part of your stress management as well. So well done, actually, step by step developing different habits, absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much for sharing, Natalie, Pepe, and Saushan. I just want to say thank you tonight. I don't see any questions right now, and no hand is up to ask any question. If you have any questions, as far as I can see, everybody has my telephone number, so just make contact with me. If you liked what you heard tonight, the call is recorded, but sometimes it's difficult to listen to recording again if you weren't involved in a call. Just remember that I do that also for companies or individually. If you have a couple of friends who should know what we were talking about tonight, where you think they could get value out of it, you can get them together. If this is a running club, if this is a rugby club, if this is a couple of people at the gym, Pepe, and we just can share the information again so that they get basically also more and more into the overall understanding, not just fixing one little thing, rather get the overall vision to basically have their best life and their best well-being for the rest of their life. So I just say thank you for being on the call tonight. I wish you well. Look well after yourself, and yeah, all the best. Lovely seeing you all. See you soon. Bye.